Right. Some black aspirin just to calm the nerves. Alright, today I'm going to give you the long-awaited Inzer Ergo knee sleeve review. A lot of you probably thought this was never going to happen, this review, once I said I'd do it, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that. I don't have the best track record. I got an ADHD brain, and as much as I really, really mean it when I say I'm going to do stuff, sometimes, quite often, it just doesn't happen. I did think this review was really important, though. When I was online looking for information on these, it was just dead. There was nothing on there. I had a couple lifters. I think Kevin Oak did a video going, these are the best knee sleeves. Like, I love these. And he's not sponsored by Inzer. And there are a few things like that, but no one really said why. So I got a pair, and I wanted to let the people know. I wanted to let you guys know why I think they're good, or, on the off chance, why I thought they might be bad. So before I start, there's been some drama around them. People are thinking they're going to get banned by the IPF, by USPA, by all these other federations, and I'm telling you, they won't. Someone uploaded a photo of their Inzer knee sleeve cut open or torn open, and they see rubber on the inside. Now, neoprene is rubber. It's actually one of the oldest forms of rubber. What Inzer here have done have obviously found or made a much higher grade of rubber or neoprene. So it's much stiffer and it feels thicker, but it's still only 7 millimeters. There's really no give in these. So that's why people think they're going to get banned, but they won't. These are, by all means and all measurements, 7 millimeters of neoprene. Inzer have just done it better. If you recall, I don't know how much you know about the history of powerlifting, but Inzer did, or were on the forefront of most of the equipment for equipped lifting back in the day, with the bench shirts, the squat suits, the deadlift suits, and everything like in between, right? They were the ones putting out all that equipment all the time. So it's actually funny that they're the first people to make knee sleeves that probably add a few kilos. So that's the drama. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think you need to worry that if you invest in a pair, they're going to be banned anytime soon. I grabbed them because I had a mate message me late at night saying, you would squat more in these knee sleeves. I was really tired. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I went, oh, well, you know what? I've done worse for weight on my squat. And I went and I ordered some. The next day, I had to sit there. My missus and I, Danny, have a joint bank account. And I was like, hey, babe, I kind of spent $270 on knee sleeves last night. And she was like, oh, do you need them? And I was like, oh, well, not really. I've got a fair few. And she was like, will they help you lift more? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Probably not, but hopefully. And she was like, look, as long as they help you lift more or lift better, that's okay. If not, it's going to be another story. So it's not a biased review, but I was very much hoping that they did give me a little bit of help because I didn't want to frivolously spend our money. The price tag is a lot in Australia. These, before shipping, will set you back $255 before, that's before shipping, and if they have your size in stock. You can order most sizes from America, and that comes to about $330 or $350 Aussie. So they are very, very expensive, well over double the price of a normal knee sleeve or like an SBD. Yeah, and I'll go into that a little bit later on whether I think that's worth it or not. But they are ridiculously expensive, at least right now, but people are still buying them, so you'd hope that they're good. When I got them, they were delivered to me, and they come in this little bag, this little sweat bag. I assume it's so you can air out your knee sleeves so they don't stink all the time. It was a nice little touch. I got the delivery, I opened the door, and I picked up the package, and I was like, there is no way these are knee sleeves because they are so heavy. No jokes. These are about 3, maybe 4 times heavier than your average pair of sleeves. So when I picked it up, I was really shocked already at how dense these bad boys were. A little more on quality. The stitching looks really, really good. I've had no fraying or anything. I don't feel like they're going to split. They've held the shape really well. I've only used it for a few sessions, but all around, I've had some really bad quality knee sleeves with really bad stitching, and you can see that they're going to come apart at the seams, and this doesn't seem to be the case here. So first impressions were 10 out of 10. Obviously, I was super excited to use these for my first session. Now, a lot of the footage I've been getting of my squats has been for Reels or TikTok, so it's all in that weird angle. So I can't use a lot of that here, right? But getting them on is relatively easy. I'm going to put in a video here over here of me showing you how I get them on. They slide on really easy because you cannot size down with these. If you're one of those people that get into a small or a medium knee sleeve and you're supposed to be an XL, like an SBD, don't do that here. It just won't work. These are XLs on me, right? They're actually pretty loose around the top. I could not get any tighter. There is no stretch and there is no give on these at all. There is no room to stretch them out. What you see online with the measurement is what you will get. To compare, these are in XL. I wear a size small, tight and yellow jacket, and I get these on really easy. So look at me try to stretch out an Inzer knee sleeve. It doesn't happen. Hopefully the angles are good. Look at me try to stretch out a tight knee sleeve. There's so much more give there, right? It's not going to happen with the Inzers, so don't size down. Getting them on though is no issue. It's that general fold the knee sleeve halfway down, lift the bottom up a little bit, pull from the bottom up, slide it up, and then unfold it, and you're there. You will notice with these, they have a specific shape. So this sits behind the knee. You're not going to be able to get this any higher, right? What you can do, and what's a little bit cheeky is, and I noticed a couple other big lifters doing it, and I've been doing it, is leave the bottom 5th, 8th, 10th folded up the whole time. When you do it this way, like this, you will find that there is a lot of bunching behind the knees with really no repercussions. Like it's not helping you when it's on your calf. So there's a lot more material behind your knee when you squat, and it feels like there's a lot of compression and just bunched up material in the bottom of the squat that's going to help pop you out, right? Pop, I use that word loosely, pop you out of the hole. I get asked a lot, do they feel like a wrap? And I've had some people say they do feel like a wrap. If you think these feel like a wrap, you have never been wrapped. Like, come down to Apex, I'll do a session with you, I'll wrap you for free, and then you can tell me the difference. These don't hurt at all. They're a little bit harder to walk around in because they are so stiff, but you can still hit depth with body weight. You don't need weight in your back to hit depth. They are very stiff. They're trying to straighten your leg the whole time, but they're nothing like a wrap. So don't get caught into that trap of believing that they're like a wrap and they're going to add 20, 30, 40 kilos to your lift. That's not the case. So like I said, getting them on is really, really easy. Getting them off is just as easy. You just fold the top down half, hold them from the top, and push them all the way down, and they'll just slide off because we don't undersize these. The difference with a normal sleeve, like my yellow jacket, my size small yellow jackets, are if I'm sweaty, really, really hard to get on because I size down so much, and if I'm sweaty, really, really hard to get off. So the Inzers are actually a lot easier to get on and off than a SBD and or a yellow jacket. Even compared to my XL SBDs, the Inzers are easier to get on and off. The big question though is, do I think they add kilos? Do I think they're worth it? And will I keep using them? So, do I think they add kilos? Yes, but potentially no. When you're warming up with these, and particularly when you've got the bottom part rolled up just behind the knee, so there's more material behind the knee, it feels like you're getting a lot more out of the hole. Now, I say a lot more, like these aren't adding 20 kilos. I wouldn't be surprised if people are getting, 5, 10 kilos out of them though, at an absolute stretch. Do I think they add kilos? Yes. But on the top end, where does people's form usually break down? I'm going to put a video up here, pretty shoddy because again, I recorded it in portrait, but you can see I get thrown out of the hole really, really fast on this squat from yesterday. And then what happens? My back collapses, I pitch forward a little bit, and the bar ends out in front of me. So I'm losing that transition of force into the barbell. At that point, I'm going to miss a squat because my back is out of position. I'm out in front of the bar. I'm rounded. I've lost my brace. Whatever kilos these sleeves have added aren't really going to matter at that point, right? So if you have perfect tech and no form breakdown, I think there is all the potential in the world for these to add kilos to your squat, especially with that little bit rounded up in the bottom, like folded up in the bottom like I showed you. But if you're like me and you have a bit of tech breakdown and you round a little bit and you just squat like a sleeve squatter, which is pretty aggressive and a fair bit of speed, I don't think it's going to translate as much to the top end as it would, with say like volume. I feel like you're going to have pretty dialed in form to get much out of these. Have a look at the difference between someone's wrap squat and their sleeve squat. Usually in sleeves, people are a lot more aggressive into the hole and, they'll collapse a little bit, they'll give a little bit of back position and stuff like that. When we're in wraps, and if you look at my squat when I'm in wraps, I slow down a lot more. I sit into the wraps, I make sure I'm keeping my back tight and engaged the whole time, and I'm really focused on building tension. And that's why I don't collapse on my wrap squats. That's why I can lift so much heavier on wrap squats, and most people can. And that's why form tends to look pretty good with wrap squats. Do I think it's worth treating these like a wrap squat and squatting like you're in wraps with these? No, because even though these are super stiff, even though these are super stiff and really, really strong knee sleeves, they're not a wrap. They're not going to store energy like a wrap, right? A wrap will store energy on the way down and then help you lift more and put more force and more power into the bar on the way up. These 7 millimeters of neoprene still, yes, you might get a bit of help from the bunching and that behind the knee. Like I said, I think that's going to be the majority of it. It's the way they're shaped. But are they going to store energy? No, or not a significant amount to where it's worth completely changing your squat tech, right? Have a look at this. You can completely just munch them up. Not as much as a normal wrap. Like this, I can just slam back and forward easily. But you can, the dog, sorry. Give him a sec. He'll chill out. Dog problem is gone. Almost forgot where it was at though. Right, yes, so you can see I can bend that knee sleeve really easy. This is a little bit harder. It's got a lot more resistance. I actually have to put a bit of effort to bend them. But again, not going to really store any significant energy, on the eccentric of a squat. Do I think they're worth it? That's going to be the big question on everyone's mind. If I could add, and if these added 2 kilos to my squat, 2.5 kilos to my squat, to me, they are worth it, right? I'll do worse things for 2 kilos on my squat. So yes, do I think they're worth it for Gen Pop, people just competing on the local level, not chasing world records or anything? Do I think they're going to offer any more support or make your knees feel any better than your SBDs, your Titans, your whatever it may be? No. I think for high-level lifters, it could be worth an investment. I don't think it's going to be make or break. I don't think you're going to be adding, 15, 20 kilos to your squats at all. So are they worth it? Kind of a cop-out. It depends. It depends how much you value a couple kilos on your squat. Like I said, your biggest limiting factor is going to be your tech. If you lose it on your back, lose your brace or anything. I don't think they're going to give you as much as if you have absolutely perfect form. So I think you'll notice a massive difference with sub-max training on these and not so much at the top end. Am I going to keep using them? Yes. I spent $270 including shipping on them, so I'm not going to not use them. That's it. I'm going to chuck these down now. All right. Thanks heaps for watching that, guys. I hope that review helped a little bit. I really could have used a review like this when I was deciding whether to choose them or not, because it is a really big monetary investment. We all know that. I'm going to keep using them, and if my opinion changes, I will let you know. They feel nice when I'm squatting with them. When I'm warming up, I feel like I'm getting a lot out of them. When I'm squatting 363, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't, because I feel like my limiting factor is elsewhere. Just like in wraps, you know, if I collapse, the wraps aren't going to help me if I'm pitched out in front of the bar. And this is, you know, to a much lesser extent. I don't think it's worth changing your tech to use them. It's probably not worth the investment unless you are a really high-level lifter chasing placings at nationals or chasing records, and even then, it's a little bit iffy. Are they a good sleeve? They're amazing. Do they look like they have a really good build quality? Yes. Do I think you would be silly for buying them? No. They feel good. If it feels good, use it. Go with it. But am I recommending them and saying everyone's going to be putting kilos on their squats with them? Probably not. You know, maybe if you're a super upright high bar squatter, you get even more out of them. But, you know, I think that pool of people that really are going to get anything out of them or anything worth noting out of them is pretty limited. So I would be saving my money and just not jumping on the bandwagon unless you fit that certain criteria, or you have expendable income and you just like to buy new powerlifting equipment. Again, they feel amazing. Don't get me wrong. If you just want to buy them because they feel good and they're going to feel a little bit better than an SBD and a Titan, then by all means do it. They do feel thicker. But aside from that, you know, don't jump out and buy them just because you think they're going to give you a couple of free kilos. And that's my recommendation. I actually had a lot of fun making this video. Let me know if you want me to do more of these kind of things. Like, it's a little bit easier for me to do this than like vlogs. It's me sitting in front of my computer. I've got a couple of lights set up because I'm a professional. I can review other powerlifting products. I can give tips. Give me some topics to hit. I really like this. This was enjoyable and this was easy for me. I'm much more inclined to do these kinds of videos and vlogs and stuff. So let's see if we can kind of fit this in with my life right now and make some content in this kind of format. Peace, guys. Love you lots.